Okay, it helps if I unmute my microphone. Hey, everybody, it's Angie from Trucker Safety Diva. So we were running a few minutes late. I apologize, but that's just trucking. That's how it is. So I got a couple girls who are moderators in our group, Trucker Safety Diva. They're could be popping in and out. Oh my gosh, I can't talk, you guys. I've been running like crazy. I'm so sorry. So first, I have Lori Underwood. So I'm going to bring her in just a moment. And she's one of the moderators in our group, and so she'll be joining us. But I want to just welcome everybody. You guys can post your comments. I can see them. I can post them on here. So say hi. Tell me where you guys are watching from, and we'll be sure to make sure that we get your comments added. So we just appreciate you guys watching, and we'll get some of the people started in here. Just make sure you add your comments and say hi. Tell me where you guys are from. Hey, Lori, how are you?
Hey, darling, how are ya?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Am I good?
You are good. You look so much better than me. Look at you all dolled up.
I just kind of like threw it all back. All right, I'm good.
I know I couldn't get my micro, or I have a brand new web camera, and I was all excited to use it, and I couldn't, so now I'm using my laptop one. But I do have my ring light, so hey, my lighting looks pretty good. It's amazing what you can do in a truck.
Here we go. I can do a spotlight. There we go. Hey.
See? Spotlight looks good. Yeah, I mean, people would die. I'm going to take pictures. I'll have Larry take pictures of my setup, everything that I have to do just to get a show to go, and we're doing it on a truck.
Oh, believe me, we know.
You'll have to do
Hey,
that.
yeah, I was gonna say you do them a lot.
We
Yeah.
feel your pain.
Oh, I so feel your pain because that ring light gets really hot.
Uh, yeah, this is the first time I've ever used it, so.
Oh,
So,
yeah, it gets hot.
yes. Oh, give me just a second here. Let's see. I'm trying to message everybody. Okay, so. Oh, Larry just turned off my light. He's my cameraman. Do you want to adjust the color, Larry? Oh, nope, I guess not. Okay. Hey, Sheila. So Sheila Long saying hi. So this is our first show, and so we're working out all the kinks. I didn't get some of the graphics added that I wanted to. I did get our little logo up there, and we've got a couple other girls who are going to be joining us too. But Lori's one of the moderators of Trucker Safety Diva. I'm like, gotta get myself centered here. And also, so I wanted to. So tonight's topic is it's our first show, so we were just talking about what it's like to. Ooh, do that one you did before. Hold on, Larry's messing with my lighting. Okay, definitely not that one. That makes me look washed out. One more. Okay, that's not bad. That's good. The other one made me look like a Oompa Loompa.
Oompa Loompa, huh?
I know. Oh my goodness. Okay, so. Oh my goodness, I can't get this comment to come off the screen. There we go. Hide it. Okay. So our topic tonight was we were going to be talking about what it's like to be on the road with your spouse or your partner. And so I know that you don't drive, but your husband drives. So can you tell us a little bit about your guys' setup?
Well, our setup, we're lucky enough
there
to
he
have.
goes.
We're lucky enough to have a 2,000-watt inverter in our truck.
Come on.
So we've got actually the dorm fridge from Walmart. It has a freezer on it.
That was a treat. Ooh, that was
And then
a treat.
we have our microwave, which is also an air fryer and a convection oven, and
I
a
got
hot
one of
plate.
those too. Yeah.
And we have our hot plate and our Instapot.
Hey,
So we're able to cook anything on the truck.
When we got that fridge, because now it has a freezer, I was like a kid in a candy store. Oh, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream.
I know we've got a little tiny freezer and the door is broken on it, so it keeps icing up. So I can hardly put anything in our freezer. It stinks. I wonder
Well, ours actually sits between the seats, and it's actually got the two doors. So the top door is the freezer, and the bottom is the fridge.
So we can pretty much do anything on our truck, except of course shower. You know, that's you have to go other place to shower. We have the regular rig, so we got the bunk beds and all that, you know.
Well, we do have this shower.
Yeah, we've got those too. Yep. Oh yeah.
You know, sorry, but it's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Um, but we have been talking about seeing if we can get a super sleeper soon.
We are supposed to be in the process of getting one, and I really, really want a super sleeper.
Right, a lot
Oh,
more room, bigger. You can actually stand up and cook. You
yes.
know. But yeah, we're thinking about maybe going owner op and all that kind of stuff, and so it's
Ooh,
in the works.
we were thinking about that before we switched to custom critical. We were debating on whether or not we wanted to do owner up, and we were kind of scared. We're like, oh, I don't know.
Well, to get the legacy sleeper,
That's where
we
we're
pretty
at.
much have to go owner op because Werner's not going to allow me to have that big of a wheelbase.
Yeah,
But
my
go ahead.
I said the thing we worried about, because we actually followed a gentleman onto a base the other day that had a super sleeper, and we were like following him, and he had the hardest time like backing up and getting into certain spaces. So that's the one thing we're kind of concerned about, because we're switching to DoD, and so for those of you who might not know, DoD is Department of Defense. We actually got rid of our reefer today, and so we got rid of our reefer trailer today, and then we went to just a regular dry box. But then we're like worried, are we going to be able to go super sleeper into some of these, army bases and military bases? And that's the thing we're worried about. Larry's worried about backing that thing up.
Right.
Once
Yeah.
once you figure out where the pivot point is, I've been told that as soon as you find out where the pivot point for the trailer is,
Mm-hmm.
you can back it just like you do your regular truck.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's just all about the pivot point.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so I've been on the road with James for 4 years now. Um, it's different. In the first year, I was like, I'm not sure about this, you know. But after
Yeah.
that next couple of years, I got used to doing it all, and I love it. I wouldn't change it, you know.
I know some women who like ride with their spouses or their husbands and stuff. They take care of like the paperwork and the cooking and stuff like that. Do you do that, or is it 50-50?
No,
No, because usually,
I do all of it.
I've got my other thing that I'm working on.
Yep, you're paparazzi.
Right. Yep.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if we could say that, but yep,
Yes, you can
I'm an
say
independent
it.
consultant for paparazzi, so I run my business from the road. So
And I just
usually
bought.
I'm working that all day long.
I have to say, I bought paparazzi for the first time a few months ago, and I was scared. I was like, $5 for jewelry. I don't know, it's gonna be cheap, but I was pretty impressed. Everything I bought I've liked, and so I actually bought some stuff from you the other day for my cruise. I got a couple more pieces I gotta get from you.
Well, you can always shop the replays, love.
Yep.
I had tons of them.
And
Aw.
and
Sorry.
and actually, the stuff that you bought from her, we'll be pulling it out and getting it packaged up to get
Yeah.
shipped out tomorrow.
Oh,
I
cool.
invoice on Sundays. We ship out on Mondays.
Cool. That's perfect, because we're not coming home till 4th of July, so
There
it'll
you
just be
go.
it'll be waiting
We
for
don't
me.
go home much either. We actually have a home in Tennessee, but we don't get home much because usually our home times are going to Washington, seeing the grandbabies, and then
Hmm.
going to PA and visiting with my best friend and stuff. So home time is just basically wherever. Not really
Yeah.
home.
Well, we did Valentine's in Vegas.
Oh yeah, we did. We took Valentine's in Vegas. Trying to get a rig there. Oh, that was hard.
Did
We
you
got
win any?
stuck.
Did you guys win any
Not in
money while you were
Vegas.
there?
Couple hundred.
Yeah, a couple hundred, I think. We didn't do too bad, but we were more there for the shows. We went and what was it we did? The
We did
medieval times.
times.
That was
Oh
really
yeah.
fun.
That's
Um,
that, we've been debating on whether or not we were going to sell our house because we hardly ever get home anyway, and it just seems kind of asinine to me to be paying for,
Right.
a mortgage and utilities for a place that I don't use. So we've actually been thinking about, now that the housing market's so hot, just getting rid of our house and just staying out on the road because our kids live all over the country as it is, and the only thing we really do when we go home is laundry and sleep. So
Right.
I could do that on
That,
the truck.
we've been thinking about that too because we're always on the road. So what the heck of why make a mortgage payment if you don't have to? You save that money, you know.
Exactly. And we want to save towards retirement.
My only thought on that one is just in case something happens where I can't drive anymore. We
Yeah.
got to have a place to go immediately.
Yeah. That makes sense. I never really thought about it like that. That's a good idea. And that's a good idea. I never thought of that.
But I enjoy it. I mean, as just a writer, yeah, it does get kind of old, kind of boring, Um, and that's why good friends come in handy
Oh, yeah. I was
to
just going to
keep you
ask you,
going.
one of the things, I mean, I think everybody thinks that because I've got a lot of trekking friends on Facebook that I have a lot of friends that I talk to on the phone, and I don't. I think trekking can be very, very lonely, um, you know, because it's just the two of you in a truck. So,
Hmm.
like, how do you guys, make it work where you guys aren't constantly like bickering at each other, or, how do you make it work? Because when you're with someone 24/7,
Yeah,
it can be hard.
yeah. Um, well, what usually when he's driving during the day, he's up front, of course. I'm back here on the bed. I'm doing my thing. He's doing his thing up there. And then when we do 34s, I try to give him his time so he can play on his Xbox and stuff. I do whatever I need to do on a 34. We do, do the laundry, whatever. But the main thing, since you're in such close quarters, you have to be best friends. You have to
Yeah,
have that communication. Because if not,
absolutely.
you're going to fight and argue and yell at each other all day long. And no.
And
Yeah,
every
I
so
think.
often, you do got to take that little bit of time to yourself and
Right.
just get out, walk away.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Because if you don't have some downtime to yourself,
Right.
then it's just at points you're gonna be like, oh my god, I'm with her 24/7.
When you're home, it's different because you can go to another room or something. I don't want to talk to you more and slam the door. Here,
That's
you
yeah,
can't do
that's
that.
true. You can't do that. Larry and I always say that we just slam the curtain. It's just as good as a door. It doesn't make that loud noise, but hey, it gets that point across that you're mad or
Hey,
you need your
those
time alone.
curtains are heavy sometimes.
I I know. Oh,
I try
so
to
now
pull him while he's rolling. I'm like, come on.
now I heard you say that you guys cook a lot on the road. Do you guys try to cook more on the road than like eat out? Because I mean, I think that's the hardest thing. It's like the same thing over and over again at the truck
We
stops,
do.
and if you eat all that, it's expensive, and B, we're gonna gain weight.
Right. We do. We try to stop like maybe once a week or so at Walmart and we do a little bit of shopping and stuff. We make a menu of what we're going to do that week for lunch and dinners and we just kind of roll with that.
Yeah, that's we actually have Walmart being delivered here at the truck stop tomorrow. I was getting my order done right before I got online. I'm like, thank God for Walmart and Instacart because
Right? I love
we
that
do.
thing.
I know we go to Walmart sometimes and we do shopping, but it's like when I'm tired and I know we don't have like a long downtime, it's like I'd rather just have my groceries delivered.
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly. There's times that I wish that too, but he's kind of a stickler, so he likes to I think it's more that he likes to get out of the truck and walk
oh yeah,
around.
yeah. My biggest thing is if I get out and I go shopping, I always buy like $50 worth of crap I didn't need. So it's nice just to okay, I can just order it and I know exactly what I'm getting. I'm not getting any extras.
I feel your pain on
No,
that. We do that too, and we'll be like, "Where are we putting it all? Oh no!"
my big thing is though, I've got to be able to watch the space we have in the fridge and
Mhm.
freezer. So I like to go in and get what I get so I know exactly how much space it's going to take.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
That's
see, It's something that he told me, and I find it quite funny now after a couple of years of being on the road. When I first got on the road, he's like, "Hey, babe, we'll be able to stop and see things and do tourist attractions and yada yada yada." No,
Yada yada. I was
it
gonna
don't
say
work that way.
we actually when we worked with FedEx Ground, we hardly ever saw anything either. We were running, but this year we've seen, let's see, Niagara Falls.
Oh
Tomorrow we're
no
actually,
way!
yeah, and tomorrow we're in Canton, Ohio tonight, and so I don't know. When we first started dating, Larry told me a long time ago that he was driving in his truck past Canton, Ohio, and Canton, Ohio is the Football Hall of Fame. I didn't know that, but anyway, he said he almost wrecked his truck because he was so excited he wanted to see it. So we're
Oh
in Canton,
goodness.
Ohio tonight. I'm like, guess where we're going tomorrow? We're going to Uber to the Football Hall of Fame. So he is so excited.
Larry sounds like you at the Raider Stadium in Vegas.
He's a Raiders fan, so's Larry.
Yep.
Yeah, we've
And
driven
as
by it a
soon as
million
Yes,
times.
baby.
as soon as he saw that stadium coming up, he was like, "Oh my god! Oh
Yep.
my god! Oh my god!" I'm like, "Calm down, babe. You're driving." He's like, and then every time we go through, he's like, "I gotta get pictures. I gotta do this. I gotta do this." I'm like, "Babe."
Oh
Oh my
no,
God.
I got to pull up to the stop sign right in front of the stadium
Uh huh.
and get pictures of it right after they finished it.
He sure did.
Oh, and
I was
you can't get the ticket. How much are the tickets going for? Oh, here, go ahead.
a couple thousand.
There's Larry's water bottle.
Ooh,
Oh
I
yeah.
love it.
Our daughter made it for him.
I
Oh,
love
I
that.
love
It's
it.
cute though, you know.
Yep.
So I promised him one of these days he will go see a game.
I got a Brooke here, I think. I'm going to try to add her to this stream too. Let's see. Are you there, Brooke? Maybe not. I can't hear her.
I can't hear her either. I don't see her yet.
Those, but those
I'll message
tickets are so expensive.
Uh-oh. But I mean, other than that, you know, I wouldn't trade it because our kids are grown. It's just us, you know,
Us too.
and the dog. Well, of course, it's the babies. But we'll stop every so often. Like yesterday, we stopped. It was nice in Joplin. It was nice and sunny and stuff, so we let them play. But the grass was taller than the chihuahuas were.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to
Oh,
I
take
think
you to
right.
the lighthouse in Virginia. You got to see that?
Oh yeah, we did go see that. What else have we done so far? Not much.
Not a lot, but there's been a
Not much.
couple chances. But with COVID
Yeah. COVID didn't help stop and seeing stuff, you know.
and and working for the company I work for, I'm constantly running.
We're
yeah.
gonna keep them going hard.
Yeah,
We're
I
gonna
hear
keep
you.
them. Yeah. You know, there's just those times where I just like when we do our 34s, I'm like, oh my god, the truck isn't moving. Okay, I can actually rest. There's
Yeah.
no bumps. Those.
See,
Oh my.
I sleep like a baby. I don't know what it is. He could drive and drive and drive. I sleep through the whole, 8 hours. I am dead sleep. And then he sleeps daytimes, which is when, I'm driving and there's construction and accidents and
And all the
he can't,
bumps and all that good
yes,
stuff.
he can't sleep at all. I'm just like, you poor thing.
I told them that when we finally retire off this truck, I'm gonna need a bed that moves.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Today we're in Indiana,
Yep. And the roads,
so that'll tell you
the
about the
roads are
bump.
bad here.
Yeah, we were in Indiana last night when we hit that tornado. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, I tell you what. Okay,
I saw that video. Oh my gosh.
so you're going to find this really funny. Pam Dixon said she doesn't like 34-hour recess because she's on her own. I think I would hate that
Oh.
too if I was by myself too, because that makes for a long, lonely time. So I totally get that.
Right? Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah,
that's what Xbox is for.
I'm not a video game person. Larry's got a what is it, babe? A Nintendo Ring. What is it? What's your new game, Larry? He can't hear me. He must have his headphone in. Anyway, he's got a
Ring Fit
Ring Fit. Okay, yeah. So we got
for the Switch.
for the Switch. That's what it is for the
I
Nintendo
got
Switch.
you. I
because
got you. Yep.
we're trying to lose weight, and it's so funny trying to do the ring fit in this tight little truck. It's like,
Oh, that you're
oh
gonna
my
have to
gosh.
take pictures because I bet that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I told him I was gonna get some pictures. He was gonna do it while I was doing this, and I said, "Oh my gosh, that would be such a distraction."
Right?
Oh,
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, it's nice. I stay
yeah.
busy. That's my biggest thing. I have to be busy. I couldn't just sit here and not do anything.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing. When you're on the road, and especially as many hours as we are, you have to have a routine. I've got my
Right.
truck very organized right now. It's an absolute mess because we had to set up for the show. But normally it's like really organized. You have to know where everything's at because we cook on the truck so much, and it's just like. And then being with someone 24/7, it can be kind of hard. So I'm glad that you guys, on your 34-hour resets, you guys have your own thing. I'll be honest, we don't. We're together all the time. I mean, there's occasionally, like when I get home, I'll go out with my friends, but we really enjoy hanging out together, so we're together 24/7.
But you guys do the team drive thing where one of
Yeah.
you's driving, one of you's sleeping. So you get somewhat of a little bit of alone time that way.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, because usually I'm driving, he's sleeping, or vice versa. So, yeah.
We missed each other yesterday.
I know you were in Petro, and then tonight you're in Indiana. We were in Indiana last night.
I was like, well, dang it, that kind of sucks.
I know. We just missed each other. Oh, I tell
That's
you.
the way it goes, right? When you
Yep.
want to meet somebody or whatever, it's like, nope, see ya. Well,
Yeah.
I
wait.
know.
Yeah, we're heading into Illinois tomorrow, so
I'll be glad you're not there tonight because the weather's pretty bad.
You should see when I do my lives. Oh my gosh, you should see the truck after my lives. I
Oh my
just
gosh.
throw things everywhere.
well, you see the pegboard right behind her head.
Yeah, there's.
I know Larry was just saying he loved that. He's like, I like her pegboard. Yeah, I did. I totally forgot because it's been a while since we've streamed, and I'm like, what all do I need to stream? I'm like, oh my gosh, I have my light, I have my laptop, I have my microphone. I was like, we got a lot of stuff to set up, and we just got done doing showers and eating. I was like, I need to schedule my time better.
Don't feel bad. Don't feel
Oh,
bad because.
we do it all with just the light, the ring light, and her tablet.
hmm But
Oh,
we'll be like, it'll be I don't know 7:30ish. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta hurry up. I got 30 minutes left. I totally get it because I'll be like hurry and do my hair and stuff. I'm like, oh Lord.
And I'm
yeah.
yelling at her. I'm over here yelling at her. Calm down. Just take your
Hey,
time and do it. If we're a couple minutes late, they'll understand.
I know I was 10 minutes late tonight. I'm like, it's my first show. They'll have to live with it. I got Brooke. I'm going to add her to the show. She's been having problems with her signal. So let's see. Are you there, Brooke?
Hi guys. Yes.
Hey, gorgeous.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Where are you guys at? Can you hear me? Oh, she froze.
Uh-oh.
She's got really bad service where she's at. We'll see if she comes back on in a minute.
Hopefully she does. We had really bad service yesterday too. We couldn't do our live either yesterday.
Yeah, I'll wait and check on her in a minute here. Yeah, and then we were supposed to do the show last night, and then I got stuck in that tornado, and I was just like, we're just gonna wait, and we'll do it tomorrow night. Or, tonight it'll be much better. It was ridiculous, but yeah, So I do weather for trucker safety info. Here she's back again. Hold on. There you go.
Sorry, guys.
I see. I was just saying you had bad service.
Yes, we do. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. So where are you guys at?
How are you guys?
We're good.
Headed for St. George. We're just outside of Salina, Utah, on I-70, headed for I-15. We're headed down to California.
I know exactly where you're at.
Right?
Well,
Yeah.
St. George is paparazzi's headquarters, so.
Right?
Oh yeah, she does paparazzi jewelry. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, Brooke, I was going to have you tell everybody, because it's pretty cool and I've watched you a few times. Tell everybody what you and Johnny have been doing as far as you guys driving on the road and doing your little TV show. Uh-oh, she froze on me again.
Oh no.
I'll watch. If I see her come back on, I'll bring it back on. But her, so her and Johnny actually, they do. It's pretty cool. So they'll be, I can't. Oh gosh, I just had a brain fart. I can't remember what it's called. That's why I'm hoping she gets on here again. But pretty much what it is where they'll be driving in the truck down the road, and the camera's pointing towards the road, and so people get to watch what they're driving and what
Oh
they're seeing.
wow! So
And then
as their dash cam.
yeah, their dash cam, and then sometimes they'll turn around and they'll talk to the people and stuff. And it's a whole network. We got asked to try to do it, and I haven't had time, and I totally forgot. If somebody knows what I'm talking about, can you put it in the comments? Because I know it's like a really popular Facebook group, and they asked us to do it, and we haven't had the chance to do it. So, but her and Johnny, her husband, are on it, and it's pretty cute.
I know what she's talking about.
We
and I
do
can't
like
think of the name of it.
I do like a video blog for some of my customers because they're not truckers and they don't understand like the terminals and stuff. So when we get into different terminals, I'll go live and I'll show them different terminals, and I'll do a live like when we're driving so they can see like how bad people actually cut us off and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
They love it. They absolutely love it. They're like, wow, we didn't realize that you can't brake fast like a regular car. I'm like, no, it takes a while to brake. So when you guys cutting us off like that, we got to weave or something.
yeah. My biggest thing is I'm like, I've seen some of them now. I've seen Brooke and Johnny's. Brooke and Johnny's, they're actually, they're a good couple, and they have a lot of people that watch them, and so they're funny and they're interactive. But then there's some of them that are on that network where all they do is they play music and you just watch the road. And I'm like, that's kind of boring.
Oh, that's kind of boring, right?
I know. It's like no narration, no, hey, look at this beautiful mountain, or I'm here in Wyoming, or I'm in Utah. So I'm like, I'm kind of worried about doing it. We've been asked to do it. And I'm like, with me, I'll probably be sitting there recording and then forget that I'm recording the show. And I'll like not be talking. People are like, I'm falling asleep. I'm like, welcome to my job.
Like, hey,
on the road.
Wake up. Hey.
No, my problem with doing something like that would be trucker mouth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's got a potty mouth, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think we all do.
Oh, yeah.
One time or another, something comes up, we get frustrated. There it comes. So.
Well, I was a soldier and I'm a truck driver. Go figure.
What branch were you in?
Army.
Oh, so was Navy. So was Larry. He was Army too. Oh. He was in Germany for a while.
See, you and Larry have a lot in common already. Raiders,
yeah,
Army. Oh my goodness, y'all need to meet now.
I know. See, we're just like following each other. Last night you were tonight you're in Indiana. Last night we were there.
Well, where are you going next?
Well, maybe
y'all will blow
apart.
We're going to Virginia.
Don't curse them.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Give you a blower tire so we can catch up to him. That's bad. He just cursed y'all. That's bad. Let's not wish that. They had that scare for that tornado last night. Let's not do that.
Yeah, I know. I remember seeing the video.
I showed him the video. I'm like, oh my god, look at this.
I know. Well, what was so bad is I do weather for Trucker Safety Info, and I knew about the weather was going to be bad, but I guess I forgot. And so I'm driving along, and then my phone goes off because I have alerts set up so that if anything goes on, I can let you guys know about it. And it said tornado 1.5 miles from me. I'm like,
oh no,
there's a tornado here in Indiana. I'm like, yeah, duh. You just told everybody Trucker Safety Info about that this morning. So then I'm looking in front of me and you can see the dark funnel and I'm like, oh shit. So I just pulled off on the side of the road. I was like, I'm going to let that sucker pass. So I thought it passed, and then I sat there for like 10 minutes and the rain kind of died down, and then we took off again, and then we were just like chasing it. It was just like an hour and a half of
oh wow,
doing 30 miles an hour, and then like we'd be driving down the road and you'd see trees laying over, branches laying over. We saw a barn that was destroyed. I was like, oh my god, I didn't realize how close we were to it.
We had one of those moments. Where were we though? It Tornado Alley or something, right?
I want to say we were up by Dodge City, Kansas.
Well, we got in a really bad one to where we had to, because Warner kept going through and saying, hey, you need to stop. Hey, you need to stop. Hey, you need to stop. And he likes to push.
Oh, yeah.
So all of a sudden it started coming down hard, high winds. We're like, no, you need to get off the road now. So we finally got off. He had to roll the legs down. Boy, I tell you, we were rocking hard.
Oh no, that one was when we were in Louisiana, because we pulled off on that little bitty gas station.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I had to go inside and ask if we could park there until the storm passed.
Because it was bad. We're like, you can't do it no more.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta know.
I literally could only see 5 feet in front of the truck.
Yeah, that's how it was last night.
Some of the weather conditions that we can get into are pretty dang scary sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. I just posted a thing in the group today because when I realized how close we were to that tornado, I'm like, okay, so what is the proper procedure to do if you're in a semi truck? Because the one thing we noticed yesterday during that tornado was that everybody was underneath the overpasses. And so it was really, really hard for me to get a semi through there when you've got people on both sides of the overpasses, and everything that I've read said, don't get underneath the overpass. It's not going to help you. If you've got a tornado, get into a ditch, or like in our cars, stay in our trucks, stay in the driver and passenger seat and just buckle yourself up. So I'm like, I don't know.
Roll down the legs and pray. And pray.
I was doing some praying last night.
The one that we're talking about, even he was scared at it. It was that bad. Of course, the babies over here, they get scared with the storms and stuff because they have nowhere to hide. And
I was just going to ask, your dog's scared of the storms too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they get scared of them really bad, huh, guys? Right? Right? I know. They're looking at me like, what? I saw your babies. And I didn't know if you saw the pictures of Thor, but one of your babies will pick his little paws up and put them on the steps.
Uh-huh.
Thor does the same thing. I'm like, I wonder if she saw that picture.
Give me just a second. I gotta invite Betty real quick here. Let's see. Okay. There we go. I gotta come back to you. Okay. Betty's getting ready. Oh, there's Brooke again. Hold on. Let's get Brooke in here.
Sorry, guys. How are you? Oh my hell! If this isn't like real life trucking, like this is raw uncut right here, right?
Oh, well, yeah, we were just talking about last night. We were supposed to do our first show, and I get stuck in a tornado. It's like, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Okay, so I am having a total brain fart. So the TV show that you and Johnny do, what network is that for on Facebook? I totally forgot.
No, it's all good. Truckers TV.
See?
Yeah.
I knew it was Truckers TV.
Yeah, Truckers TV. And
Truckers TV, babe.
I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, with dash cam and all that. Why not check it out? Hey.
Right?
I mean, it's not like we don't do video blogs anyway.
I'm not going on and broadcasting because they would not accept my mouth.
So, okay.
It's funny. Johnny's had a couple episodes that we've had to edit.
I was saying, can you edit? Is it live?
I get bad trucker mouth in traffic.
So does he. He's got issues. Yeah. It was funny, Angie, when you and Larry were talking on your live the other day on your personal page, and you were talking about relationship struggles, like your first year. Johnny and I were giggling. We were like, oh, we totally relate.
Right?
Yeah, totally relate.
Oh, we've had so many people ask us, how do you guys get along? And it's like, at the time that they were sending us those things, I'm like, we're really not getting along right now. So
yeah,
like,
you guys have no clue.
I'll wait till we're in a better place.
Yeah, we're like, we'll put on a smiling face just for you. However,
exactly. I'm gonna add Betty to the stream. Hold on just a second. Hey, Betty, how are you?
Hi, how are you guys?
Hi, Betty.
Hi,
guys.
We got the whole gang.
Yeah, we're actually at home right now. We don't deliver till Monday. Everything was just crazy yesterday. So we decided to come home and then we'll drive 96 miles Monday morning, go deliver and come back home.
Oh, hey, that's good.
So it was nice to get here.
Good.
We haven't been home in 8 weeks, so we're ready.
Oh my gosh, 8 weeks. Brooke,
Yeah.
how long do you stay out usually?
Normally we run about 2 months, probably. Yeah, we're running about 2 months because all of our kids are adults, and so we're on a mission to pay off debt.
I hear you.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Dennis and I, we have 5 kids, 5 grandkids, and they're all grown. They live in their own houses, so we're empty
Right.
nesters, so we just go, we pay off bills, save some money for retirement, and that's, it's just our goal. We want to retire to a sailboat and live on the ocean, live aboard.
How fun.
So
I love
That's
that.
amazing.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing, and we're succeeding pretty good. So we're pretty happy with the progress so far.
Good.
That's awesome. Okay, so I have to ask you because I know that everybody but Lori. Okay, so what do you guys find is the hardest thing being on the road with your other half? What is the one thing that you think is the hardest thing? For us, it was like trying to find new topics and new conversations because you're with each other 24/7. You know everything. You do the same job. So it's like that was our hardest thing. Is well, what do we talk about?
Well, with Dennis and I, we don't do the same job. I don't drive, but we are owner operators, and we book our own loads. So I book the loads. I look for the loads. I book the loads. I take care of all the paperwork. I send it in so that we can get paid, because it's just something that he drives all the hours that we can possibly drive. And to me, that's the important part. He needs to be able to concentrate on the road. So
Absolutely.
while I'm doing that, I help him navigate with the GPS, or oncoming traffic. When he's up driving, I'm up with him in the front seat all the time, unless I'm just like getting cramps in my legs or something, need to stretch out for a bit. But it works for us. And so I think the only thing, we really don't get irritated with each other. We do have times where we just sit in silence, and I'll play something on my, tablet or something like that. I'm the one with anxiety. So when I get really anxious, he's the one that gets stressed out because I'm so anxious, So we had a little episode of that yesterday.
Yeah. Anxiety means I got a brand new Cascadia with a dent in the driver's side because she puts her foot up there and smashes her imaginary brake.
Yeah.
I drive too fast.
Yeah, the brake is the dashboard, and I will put my foot on the dashboard. That's his sign that I think he's going too fast or he's not slowing down fast enough.
Oh, goodness.
Larry's over here giggling at you.
Also.
Yeah.
Oh, how funny.
Now, Larry will appreciate this, I'm sure. One thing that aggravates me is everything has its place. And Dennis will leave his belt on the floor, his hat over here. What else? We're in such a confined space. And I need to be able to walk without stepping on something. So, I really need you to put your belt up, and I need you to put your hat up, and I need you to put your cup in the cup holder, and I need you to put your clothes in the dirty basket. So,
I just got yelled at about that right before the show because the dog's toys were all over the floor, and he goes, I'm going to throw all those toys away.
Yeah, I'm just like, and then he'll ask me, well, I'll put the safety vest somewhere. I'll put the safety vest up, and he's like, well, where are they? And then we go to get them, like we had to use them last night. We had to have hard hats and vests and all this stuff at this paper mill. And I'm like, where are we going to put these hats? We're like out of room. So I'm like putting them in the closet. So now that we're home, we're going to get the truck all rearranged again. But that's not going to stop him from putting his belt on the floor. It's just not going to happen. I've tried.
Brooke, what's the one thing that drives you nuts about Johnny? Or vice versa. What drives Johnny nuts about you?
I would say probably what drives him nuts about me is I try to micromanage everything. I'm like, are you doing that right? I should see. But yeah, no, I would say that, I don't know that people realize as truckers, when you live with your spouse, Jack, stop. Sorry. When you live with your spouse and your fur babies, 24/7 in a truck, little things like when you're home and somebody says something to you that annoys you, you can walk in the kitchen and slam some dishes around and go do some laundry or whatever. When you're in a semi, the biggest thing you can do is get in the back and slam the curtain. I mean, there's like there's no escaping. So you learn to, I guess, cope and control your own emotions. You learn it really quick, I think.
Yeah. But you have to be able to communicate with each other without getting angry about your emotions. Because
right.
For instance, I got up this morning and unfortunately today marks 6 years that my mother passed away. So I'm just sitting over in the passenger side, just crying. And I'm like, I got to get it together. And of course, he doesn't know why I'm crying all of a sudden, just out of the blue. And I'm like, I'm just sitting here thinking about mom, I'm sorry, I'll get it together, And so it's just stuff like that. But if you can't communicate, then you're going to have problems on the road. And you have to be friends.
Absolutely.
You have to be friends. If you're not friends, then you might as well just stay home if you're not a truck driver, because you're going to get in arguments. But Dennis and I don't like drama. We don't like to argue. We don't, so we make a habit of making sure that we communicate how we feel.
Yeah, which is hard, I think. Now, I didn't know.
I was just gonna say, I wish I could say that we've got that mastered, but I'll be the first to say no, I don't.
We don't either. We are a work in progress.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we still we fight and argue too, but I mean, it goes and we're done.
See, that's good though. You just let it go.
It's no use on dragging it on, Here, hold on. There he is.
I always tell her how I feel with my fingers.
That did not sound right at all.
Well, that's how I feel things. I feel your hair. I feel your shoulder.
Oh my goodness.
One thing about that, ladies, when I first met Dennis, I was not one to convey my feelings. I would just bottle it up and then blow up. And Dennis, a long time ago, basically put me in my place and said, we're not doing this. You have to talk to me. You have to trust me.
Johnny's had that conversation.
But I had come out of a bad marriage where just communication was not there. So, because every time you said something, you got, condemned or treated, you were told you were stupid, you were crazy, whatever. So Dennis has been the one that actually helped me learn how to communicate. So that's been a really helpful in my relationship, in our relationship of being able to get along, because he's, you have to tell me how you're feeling. You have to tell me if you're mad or you're upset or something's not setting right with you, so that we can meet in the middle, so that we can make things work, and like the other day, it's about compromise.
Yeah, that's what I was saying the other day, compromise. Now, have you guys ever ran into the problem, and it's something Larry and I have ran into where we're better now, but he's the type of person, he's always in work mode. When we're out here on the truck, he's like work mode. It's like trying to separate that. Okay, yes, you're in work mode, but you have to be in husband mode too.
Right. And I think that's a huge struggle that people don't realize that we experience out here on the road, is because you're in that 8x8 box or whatever 24/7, you have to learn about each other and when to put what hat on.
Yeah, James wants to say something.
All right. I'm trying to chew food too. One of the things you got to do as a husband on the road is keep in mind of the other person's needs. Like just the other night, we were coming across Louisiana. Everybody knows how Louisiana's rough as heck. It just
Yep.
beats the crap out of
Yeah.
it. And she said, would you mind rubbing my back? Well, I stopped the truck and rubbed her back. And then, I mean, no one says you have to take a 30-minute break in the fuel island because everybody else does. You can take it somewhere else. You can rub your ass back.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, it's all about give and take in a relationship.
That's
You
right.
got to be there for each other.
Mhm.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest thing because Larry is so OCD that was our biggest thing. I think the first couple years, I'm like, babe, I know we're working, but you got to be a husband too,
Yeah.
because he treat him like his bud, like his best friend. I'm like, are we gonna fist bump now?
Right.
I'm your wife.
Larry, I'm OCD too. All right. I drive 8 hours and then I take a 30-minute break and I drive 3 hours and go to bed. And I do it again. Bam. And over and over and over and over and over. But sometimes
Yeah.
you just got to stop sporadically. You don't always have to get to the receiver 6 hours early.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's
I try to drive 4 hours, stop for a 30, then drive 4 more, stop again, and then finish it out.
Well,
I gave him
I kind of use the bladder detector. It, I know it sounds funny, but all right, I drink a cup of coffee, and that gives me about 3 hours. And then I drink another cup of coffee, and that gives me roughly about 3 more hours. And then I drink another cup of coffee, and I gotta have like half an hour. So it's not 8 hours; it's up, and I've only used about like 10 minutes to pee. So it's really great that way.
Yeah.
We actually have a camper potty in the truck.
Yeah.
We do too.
We do too.
We got one too.
Yeah, we do too.
This, I mean, we had to
It's
have
necessary.
one of those because I only have one kidney, so I go frequently. So I told him, I said, we're going to have a potty in the truck because if I'm going to be on the
Right.
truck, you're going to be stopping every hour.
Exactly.
Right.
We'll never
right.
get there on time.
Is anybody else
I think
having
that's
trouble
the
with
number one
odors
question. I
from
think
their
that's the number
body?
one question we get asked all the time is as female drivers. They're like, "Do you have a toilet on there or something?" And it's like, I never want to answer that one. It's like, okay,
I don't
yes,
either, but you have to because otherwise they just assume you pee in a bucket.
yes.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah,
So
I can't see the bucket of Gatorade.
Angela, we need to have a topic about what chemicals we use in those toilets so that we keep the odor to a minimum, because you have to find it there, a rest area
That is.
with a dump
They're
station.
gonna do a topic about it later, so I can post it later.
Yeah, we
Well,
definitely.
he just asked if anybody was having issues with the odor. This is the one we use.
Look at it. I can't see it.
Oh
It's
yeah,
the
Larry,
TST
Okay,
Max.
we're using that. It's from Camo. We're using that right now, but we're actually having just a little bit of an odor problem.
And we
Usually
dump
only
it regularly.
one or 2 days after a dump. Uh,
Get the liquid one
yeah, I
and
got
put
the
that
liquid
in the
one.
flush tank.
I've got exactly what you just showed me from Camo.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
get the liquid one as well, the little 2-ounce liquid one,
yeah.
and put that in the flush tank.
Okay.
So you
So
got
every
the
time you
drop in.
flush it, you're putting a little more chemical in it.
Yeah, I put the drop in, and then it's in the flush tank. So every time she flushes, there's a little extra of that chemical going in to kill the odor.
All right, good idea. I'll try that.
And a lot
this
of
is this is what I use. It is called Odor Nuke. I got it off of Amazon. Sorry,
oh, there
but
we
yeah,
go.
little tiny pellets. You just stick it in whatever you're using, your porta potty or whatever,
right.
and then it doesn't smell. And of course,
But
I don't.
that's a good topic
Odor
to
nuke?
do.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's embarrassing, but we got to do it. I mean,
You have to do what you have to do.
Yes.
Mhm.
I mean, what if you get stuck
We
in an
live
accident?
in
or
these
traffic?
trucks. That's
Yes.
right. Exactly.
We wouldn't get any miles down the road because I have a bad bladder. So I'd be like, you need to stop. 30 minutes down the road. Wait, you got to stop again. No,
Right.
no money being made, no miles. No, it wouldn't work.
That
Yeah.
there's a lot of places we get stuck parking that there ain't no facilities.
Right, that too.
Okay,
Well, I
so I have
remember-
a question. I have a question. So, do you ladies get irritated at certain spots of where your husband? My husband loves mom and pop parking spots. The darker, the better. To me, I'm like, I'm not going to sleep all night because I don't feel comfortable here. Okay. And he's like, oh, don't worry. It's the best spot in the world. And I'm just like looking out the window, making sure, I would rather be in a truck stop or a rest area. But if he finds a dark hole somewhere, he's like in it.
No, we'll do off ramps if we absolutely have to, like there's no parking available. But other than that, we do truck stops, rest areas, and I like it to be well lit because I've actually had a problem when I first started where I had a guy come up to me.
On ramps.
On ramps. Did I say off ramps? Yeah, on ramps. Sorry.
On ramps are safer because trucks fly down the off ramp,
Yeah.
but they're not flying on the on ramp.
Yes.
Well, we never
Our company
ever,
won't allow
ever
us to park
park.
on those.
Yeah.
We never ever park on ramps or the shoulder ever. He will find a hole somewhere.
Yeah.
Our company won't allow us to park on it.
Let me tell you something, Larry. All right,
Larry, they're talking to you.
get you some blank bills of lading, and right before you get there, have your wife fill it out. Delivering to Walmart 26 pallets of Nestle water. And you pull up at a Walmart and park right behind it. And when the security guard comes out, you show them the bill of lading and say, I'm supposed to deliver here at 6 a.m.
That's smart.
You're good to go.
That's another topic I wanted to talk about because I think the biggest thing that truckers are annoyed about is the lack of parking.
That's very smart about Walmart.
Larry said that's very smart.
So on the the parking area, yeah, we parked at some shady places, and I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. She's like, babe, I'm out of hours. I'm like, okay, then make sure it's locked. And we actually had, where was that?
We were actually at a truck stop in Memphis,
West
Tennessee.
Memphis, Arkansas.
No, Tennessee.
Or Tennessee, sorry.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Somebody climbed up in the truck.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And so I'm like,
So
what
Yeah,
the heck are you doing in my truck?
Well, like last night when we were at International Paper in Redwood, Mississippi, we ran out of hours. By the time they got us, it took us 2 hours. We were unloading and loading at the same time. But by the time they got us back there and got us unloaded, then you have to go scale out, turn around, go back in to one dock over, and then get loaded, and then go scale back out, get your paperwork. We were out of hours. And then with all the traffic and everything, we're like, what are we going to do? Where are we going to park? Well, luckily for us, Dennis found a hole down the street, and that's where we parked.
We've been there, done that.
Yeah.
At that International Paper.
Yeah,
Brooke, I got a question for you.
sure.
So I follow you and Johnny all the time, and so you find the best mom and pop restaurants to go to. Do you have a secret special app that you use? Because I'm like, where does she find all these great restaurants? Because they look all the time you post food. I'm like, oh my god, that looks so good.
Right?
I like mom and pop places.
I do too. And I'll tell you, kind of in answer to the question too, Johnny has been out here for almost 31 years. And so he's well aware of where we can park, where we can't. But him and I look for, Love's is our favorite truck stop out of all of them, out of all the franchises, I would say. And so we will shower there and spend most of our time, and that's where we fuel. But we also are not afraid to park at some of the little mom and pop places. I don't know if you guys have met my husband, but he's not somebody I'm worried about being with. I'll tell you that right now. He carries himself in a manner that says, don't mess with me. And so a lot of people
Yeah.
are intimidated by him. And with that in mind, we've not had any issues, but we don't put ourselves in a position to have issues. Like you guys said, you know, we pick places that are well lit,
Right.
you know,
Well, Dennis,
so we do that.
you know,
Yeah.
I've always felt really safe with Dennis, no matter where we
Right.
parked, you
Right.
know, because he's basically like your husband. You know, when he gets out, he's got that, you know,
Right.
look, and people, you know, or as they call it, us women, you know, that resting bitch face, you know, but the man one.
Right.
You know, I don't have to worry about that, and you know, so I never have to worry about my safety with him, and he's always, is your door locked? Is your door locked? Is your door locked? You know,
Right.
because
Right.
he's been driving since 1993. I've
Right.
been on the road for 8 months, so everything
Right.
is new to me.
Right.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
everything. So I'm having to get accustomed to things that he already knows, or he'll remember a certain
Right.
spot. And I'm like, how do you even remember this stuff? You know, he's like, I don't know. You know, useful knowledge, I guess. But it's sometimes it does. You know, it gets aggravating because he'll be like, let's park over here, and I'm like, no, let's not. You know, so that's
Right.
where we have our different. Oh no, it's a good spot. Well, okay, fine. You know, so that's one of those compromises that you have to put faith and trust in your husband.
That's
that
what
he
I was
knows
just gonna
exactly
say.
what he's doing, and I think that's what a lot of people lack. You've got to have trust in the person that you're with, especially if he's the driver.
Absolutely. I mean, think about that. We're trusting our lives with that person. It's not just that we're living with them in an 8x8 box, but we're driving an 80,000-pound vehicle.
Exactly.
And Johnny and I both drive, and I think that you touched on that too, that it's so important to have that trust.
Yeah.
You've got to have that friendship, you've got to have that trust and that communication. And just like, you know, Larry and Angie, I'll tell you right now, our first year, so if you ever get to know us as individuals, Johnny and I are very passionate in everything that we do. We're very boisterous, very outgoing.
Yeah.
That includes fighting. You know, we're so that first year, if anybody was a fly on the wall inside our truck, it was bad. It was bad. But we learned through those lessons. You learn, you know, when you're in this experience, you learn how to communicate. You learn how to compromise. You learn how to navigate these daily, you know, differences. And it is daily. It's 24/7. You guys have got to communicate and learn how to just cope and deal with daily stress.
Well, and you have to, you know, the biggest thing is you have to, why? Okay. The other thing is, though, you have to support that person in all that they do.
Right.
You know, that's just like, you know, we have our page, you know, on Facebook, and just as Angela does, and she knows, you know, we feed truckers, and that was just something. And this was before I even met Angela. You know, it was so funny that I just felt like I needed to do something for the truckers, because before I even got on the road, I knew nothing about trucking. I just knew a big truck on the road, and they were in my way. And when I wish more people could have the opportunity to understand what truckers go through.
For sure.
Because being able to get in that truck and seeing, no, they're not just a steering wheel holder. They don't realize what truckers go through, and having to deal with the four-wheelers on the road.
Right.
Having to deal going through construction or pulling in places. We can't just stop at every given place. So all these life lessons that I'm learning about truckers. And so that was just my way of going, no, we got to support these truckers in a bigger way, because you know, they're tired. And my first week out on the road, I can remember my first week, and I was scared to death. And, you know, especially being in this big truck that I have never been in before. And I had to put my whole trust, faith, and everything in my husband.
Is Larry messing with your camera there, Angela?
Yes, because I was taking a sip of Fireball. He's like,
That's funny.
Okay. I'm using my boudin ball that we got in Louisiana. So I missed with Cajun food, because we found the cutest little Cajun restaurant there off of what was it, exit 43 off of I-10. Yeah, it's right beside the Pilot, and it's so good. So if you guys
what I was
get
going
over
to tell you, Angie, is I don't have like an app or anything, but we need to develop a like a, I don't even know. We can maybe even put it on like the truckers safety info, like as a different page or something. I don't know. We need to think about all the awesome places to eat around the United States, because I just know from where we've been, and then I keep a list. But otherwise, yeah, it's just when we find them, we got to share that info.
Yeah, it's called In-Laws. It's called In-Laws, and it's just a little place.
Yeah.
And we saw it one time, and I said, one day I'm going to get there because I just needed Cajun food. And so we finally got there, and we walked across the street from the Loves.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I'm telling everybody that I know. Posted it on my page. Y'all got to go because it was so good. And, you know, these boudin balls, they're so good. And they have crawfish.
What is that?
It's a
Betty, what is
boudin.
It's a pudding. It's a southern thing, and you got to try one.
Yeah, it's Cajun. It's like rice, and it has crawfish and seasonings in it, and it's fried into a ball, and it's like so good. And then we bought like jalapeno boudin sausage. And if you've never eaten Cajun food, you got to have Cajun food because
not much. Larry said he wants one.
I'm so, you know, I'm born and bred here in Texas, and so you know a lot of northern things. One place I don't like going is up north. So I'm just a southern gal, and I prefer to stay in the southern elements. You know, when we had that freeze here in Texas. I don't drive in snow, first of all. And Texas doesn't have snow. Texas has ice.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Yeah. Look at this winter.
Y'all, I cannot tell you. I probably stressed my husband out. This is probably the one time I stressed my husband out the most. Bless his heart. Okay. We were in Nevada. We had gone to Vegas. We picked up a load. We said, okay, we knew this storm was coming in. We're going to take the furthest southern route we can take. So we go down to I-10 because we're going to Florida. So lo and behold, the ice storm shows up on I-10. And they're shutting down the freeways, and they're doing this. We're trying to come out of the plains. It's snowing. I'm taking, y'all, I don't know, Angela, you might have seen all the pictures I took of all the trucks that had jackknifed. You know, I had watched.
Oh my!
I had watched a truck leaning over a bridge, and he was in front of us.
Oh.
You know, it was bad, and I was scared, and I did not want that truck moving at all. It took us 6 days to get from Nevada to Florida, and I panic. So that's probably where he got the most stress from me. And he had to do a lot of, honey, it's fine. The roads are clear. We're going to keep communication open. You know, so he had to do a lot of consoling for me.
Yeah.
And whereas for me, all I was doing is sitting there going, no. You need to find a rest area. You need to get this truck off this road. I ain't having it. I'm fixing to go in the back so I don't have to look at it. So that was it. I'm done. Can't do the snow.
I have a quick question for everybody. So since we're all out here on the road together, have any of you guys ever had any problems in a truck stop or a rest area? Because I think that's another question I get asked all the time. I know that we all have husbands or whatever, but we're not with them 24/7. So has anybody ever felt unsafe out here on the road? And have you done anything different?
Only that one in Memphis.
Yeah, the only time I ever felt unsafe is when that guy climbed up in our truck. And James was sleeping, but
Bathroom.
I was like, what are you doing? You know? And so James jumped down off the bunk, grabbed his knife, and met him at the door, and he's like, get out or else. But the guy just kept climbing in. I'm like, oh my God, no, I can't do this. So now I'm like, I'm I guess a little scared now. So every night I'm like, did you lock the doors? Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this?
Now,
But
Dennis and I, we haven't really had any encounters. We're very well protected. Um, we're from Texas. We're
Right.
protected.
I was just
Okay.
gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're both have our concealed carry. You
We
know.
do too. Yep.
So
see, we
I
can't do
worked
that.
for the many years ago. I worked for Dallas County Sheriff's Department. I was a peace officer there, so I can handle myself. But
Right.
I guess the only thing that really makes me uncomfortable is when we have panhandlers around our truck.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, they're constantly knocking on the door. It doesn't matter what time of day or night, and they're knocking on the door. That is not a good thing to do on our truck. And we have cameras all around our truck. We got
Yep.
one on my side mirror, we have one on his side mirror, we have one in the window, and we got one in the grill. So
Yeah.
there we can see all the way down our trailer. If somebody's coming up on the sides, we can see them. We can see both sides on the front. We can see forward. And it's on camera, and we got a monitor right there, you know, between his seat and mine, so that we can constantly monitor those cameras. Or if an accident happens, we know we have it on camera. So we
Yeah.
stay very well protected in many ways.
We
So
carry knives, but Warner won't allow us to carry a handgun. So
Yeah, FedEx won't let us either. I wish we could.
Right.
We would
Right.
love to.
right,
Right.
yeah.
well, that's the good thing about being owner operators. You know, we can, you know, we don't keep it within reach, because that is one thing that DOT would probably frown upon if they, you know, or someplace where you had to go. We don't keep it within reach, but we are able to access it quickly, either by me getting up and to go get it, or if we're parked, we can access it. But it's not something that is advertised, and it's not something that we take lightly. You know,
I think that was a big thing once all the riots happened last year. I think that was the biggest thing is, we knew that working for who we work for, we were very limited on what we could have in our truck to keep us safe. And I think that's when a lot of people started getting their conceal and carries because,
Right.
we were all worried about our safety out there. And
Right.
I do think we should be allowed to, if you have a conceal and carry license, I think you should be allowed to have a gun on your truck because, we're put in a lot of uncomfortable and sometimes unsafe situations, and we should be able to protect
Absolutely.
ourselves.
For sure.
you know, I
agree.
think if you'll find most Texas drivers, if they live in Texas, they're gonna have one. My son-in-law is also a truck driver. He's also an owner operator. His dad's an owner operator. His cousin's an owner operator. So we have a big family of truck drivers, you know, and we're all owner operators, and we all book our own loads. But I think you'll find that most Texans will be, not that it's advertised, but they will be protected, you know.
Yeah.
But there are laws and rules that we have
That you
to
have to
abide by.
follow. Absolutely. For sure.
You know, and if you don't know those laws and rules, then you shouldn't have one. You know, I don't
Exactly.
think they need to carry one.
Yeah.
Huh?
Have you ever had any issues out there on the road, Brooke?
So we, our issues have been really small. Nothing major. We have had to call 911 a couple times, for different things. We've been, somebody's thrown an entire beer can at our truck during some road rage. I mean, we've had things like that, and we've had people approach our truck, try to get in our truck, but nothing that was severe. And I think that the point of avoiding those situations is to not put yourself in them if you can help it. And that's the biggest thing is, picking lighted areas, well-lit areas, and, just making those choices to limit bad situations.
Yeah, that was the thing at that. The one where that guy climbed in the truck at ours, we were in a pilot parking lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The guy that tried to climb in my truck, I was at a stoplight, and he got out of his car because he thought I cut him off. And he got out of his car, ran up to the side, and tried to get in the door. That ended in a 911 call, and Johnny bending him over and face planting him to the cement. So
yeah, Larry would have done the same.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Dennis
I'd
would
have
have
done the
done the
same
same
thing.
thing.
Right. Right.
I'd have done
But
the same
Yeah.
thing.
James just said it too. He would have done the same thing also.
Yeah.
well, you guys, I hate to jump off here, but I just wanted to jump in and say thank you so much. And I love what you're doing, Angie. I think this is such a great little program that we're putting together, and I'm excited to help you do that and to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Me
I will
too.
talk to you later about the mom and pop restaurants. We'll see if we can put our heads
Yeah.
together.
Right? We need to get all this info out there to all these people out here. They got to have some good
Yes,
food.
we need to help those
Yeah.
restaurants out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you ladies have a wonderful night.
Good
Be safe out
night.
there.
Nice meeting you.
All right. Thank you. You too. Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay. Yeah, I got to get going soon too. But I just, so the one thing I had was, I know, Betty, you've only been on the road for a few months. Well, I'd only been on the road, I think, for 6 months maybe. And I was still kind of new and naive and didn't really know anything. And we were at a truck stop in Missouri, and it was in the middle of the night. And I had a guy, actually, a homeless man, that came out, and he would not let me exit the women's restroom. And
Oh,
there
wow.
was nobody around. Yeah, he put his hands out, blocking my way so I couldn't get through. And when I tried to like go underneath his arms to get through and get to Larry, because Larry was in the truck, I think it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, he grabbed me. And I don't think I'd ever felt more scared in my whole life. But now I'm very aware of my situations and where I'm at. And I think the one thing that bothers me the most is in the truck stops, I see women walking with their phone in their face. You know,
Right.
if you're a guy or somebody wanting to hurt you, you know, you're like a perfect target. Or how many times have you seen a woman or a guy for that matter walking through the fuel island with their phone right here and you see him trip and fall? You know, it's all about your safety. You got to be safe out there.
I saw one the other day. I mean, they had their phone in their face. They just ran into another truck.
Yes.
The truck.
James,
James
gets mad at me for that.
Like, you're in my way. And I'm like, no, you kind of weren't paying attention where you were going, but you just kind of sit there and kind of have to laugh about it because ignorance. It's ignorance, and it's not paying attention and not knowing your surroundings and not, if you're going to put yourself out there in the element of that late at night, then you're going to have to be very aware of your surroundings, what trucks are around you, what people belong to what trucks. You need to be looking at all times, know exactly this guy came out of this truck and this guy came out of this truck, or this lady or whoever. You have to stay attentive anytime you get out of that truck. You have to stay attentive even when you're in the truck. Because when you get relaxed, then you're caught off guard and time is of the essence.
Yes, definitely.
James will get mad at me for that. I'll have like a customer messaging me or something, and I'll be walking with the phone. He's like, "Babe, put it down for a minute. You're walking." I'm like, "Oh yes, okay."
I know it's so hard because we're so attached to our phones, and like for me, the minute I get done driving, I'm checking my messages and seeing if there's new, and you only got a few minutes to do that, so it's hard. But I'm just like, I'll be in a truck stop and I'm just like, if I was a bad guy, she's a total target for me because she's not paying attention. Our face is in her phone. I'm just like,
but that's the thing with Dennis and I answer his phone, and somebody texts, I have access of his phone. He has no access to phones. He has no access to anything. If he wants to know something while he's driving, then to me, that's why I'm there to give him information. If he needs something, a map, or we use Trucker Path, or we use the other apps, I get on those apps so that he doesn't have to stop and look and take that time. So that's where I feel like I'm more important for him to navigate, make the phone calls. Even our fleet manager, we have a fleet manager. See, we lease through DART. We lease their trailer, but we own our truck, so we book our own loads. So we do have a fleet manager. So the fleet manager, even the president of the company, they don't even call him anymore. They call me because he's driving. And every time they call on his phone, I answer. And if he were to answer, he's going like, I don't know, you're going to have to talk to Betty.
Yeah, that's Megan Daughtry. She's one of the moderators in our group, and she's got the same situation. Her husband's the driver, and she's been doing dispatching for her company. But the same thing, if somebody from the company needs something, they just call Megan and talk to Megan, and she handles everything.
Yeah.
He's like, I
You
got
know,
it good.
you made a post about how Larry did like your wedding cake and doing braiding your hair and stuff. He's the same way. If he's out the truck and if he sees something, and I think that's what helps too, is because just the little things that they do,
Yes,
it makes that stronger bond. You know.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
you know, even like with Dennis, and like you said, when you get on those Louisiana roads, especially going through Shreveport and Bossier City, they are so bouncy. And by the time we get through there, my back is killing me. So for husband and wife thing, and I'm like, can you please rub my back? Because it kills me. And so he'll take the time and he'll put some lotion on my back or rub my feet or, whatever I need, kind of like Larry does your hair.
There you
I haven't
go.
trained I'm the cosmetologist because I do have a cosmetology license. I also do nails. I also am a fitness trainer, and I'm also um, certified in hydration and nutrition. So, like we'll come home and I cut his hair. So I got to cut his hair while we're at home because he's just like, So, but I won't do it on the road because I won't leave a mess. I don't have a broom to go sweep in the truck stop, So
Yeah.
so so we're gonna have to wait till we get home, and then I can cut his hair and do whatever else, cut his nails, his toenails, and whatever else he needs. Get him groomed up, get back on the
Yeah,
road.
we got to do that next when we get home 4th of July. I'm like scheduling the dog grooming appointments, my hair cutting appointments. It's like when you're only home for a couple of days off that road, it's so hard to get all your doctor's appointments in. And
Right.
I'm just like, so that's why Larry wanted to learn how to do my hair. Cause I'm like, when we only get home for 2 or 3 days, the last thing I want to do is have to go to the hair salon for 2 or 3 hours. If he could just do it when we're out on the road.
Right, because
So
you're trying to do
See,
so many things in the 3 days. It's just like, what did we forget? What are we missing? Did we clean the house? Did we do this? Oh my God, did we lock the house door? Yeah.
well, see,
I know.
like even coming home this time, it's just all work. This week is all work because we got to get our personal car, inspected and tagged so that when we can go on vacation next month, and we got to get the windshield fixed, we got to wash clothes, we got to get this, we got to get that. And so this whole week is just about, and then I got to watch my grandbabies because it's my my youngest daughter's birthday next weekend. So I'm getting the grandbabies. And then I got to take my other grandbaby birthday shopping because we weren't home during his birthday. So then we'll go back out on the road for a couple of weeks, and then we come back. We're going to go sailing. So,
Hey, Betty, what is the name of your Facebook page?
DBL Trucking.
Thank you. I couldn't remember. I was going to put it up here. I was like, I was trying to do it and my phone died. I'm like, oh gosh, it's like dead on a doornail.
It's DBL Trucking, but we also have a group page. Our business page is DBL Trucking, but we also have a group page, and it's called Lipstraw Trucking Journey.
That
Right.
I'm on both of them. See?
Yeah.
And I totally forgot.
Yeah. So I'll
Ugh.
post on them, I'll be aggravated, and I'm like, can you believe these guys made us do this? Or, or I'll throw up the fundraiser that we're having, or, something like that. And like yesterday, I just had to vent. I put it on the page. I'm like, today was such a shit show, and I'm just so aggravated, and I'm ready to go home. And, it's just like, but the nice thing about it is that the other truckers know what I'm talking about. So they're just like, so when you read something like that, you're just kind of sitting there in silence, go, we know, we understand,
I think that's the hardest problem because when we have a hard time out here on the road, our friends and our family that don't live this life back home, they don't understand.
Get it.
So like,
They
they're
don't
like,
get it.
I don't understand what's so bad about that. I'm like, oh, it was such a bad day. Or I'm so tired.
And that's why we do, like, for the customers, I'll go live and I'll show them, look, this is how bad the traffic is. And this is what happens when you cut us off.
Well,
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why we have cameras, because when they cut us off or if they clip us, we got them. Because I'm not getting sued because a four-wheeler wants to run a scam. So
Yeah.
they don't, people don't understand that. They'll be like, why do you have cameras on your trucks? Oh, if y'all only knew.
Right?
Yeah. It's for our safety.
It is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which I don't like that, because like when you're a company driver and if somebody hits you, it's still their fault. It's not the
Yep.
driver's fault. It's their fault.
Yeah.
I don't think that's right.
No, it's their fault that they charge the driver.
Yeah, they charge the driver.
We get the points on our record. The
I don't think that's
ticket, all
fair,
that
you know?
crap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but when you're paying $14,000 in insurance, you put cameras on your truck.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
It's good. Yeah. When we worked for ground, we had inward facing and outward facing. I didn't like the inward facing because we're not owner ops, and I don't think anybody needs to be listening to my conversation. But
Right.
I like the outward facing because I want to protect myself. So we have one on our GPS. But yeah, and I know there's controversy. A lot of the old timers don't like it, but to me, it's a safety insurance so that if I get into an accident, it's not my word against their word. It's my
Right.
camera against what they're saying.
Well, the thing is, and that's the thing about it, is you can pull that adapter right out of there, stick it in your phone, and show it to the police officer right there on the scene.
Yep.
So that's another advantage to having that. We don't have cameras that face in our truck. All of ours are for the outside. Nobody needs to know my business, what goes on between me and my husband on the road. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I don't need anybody. If we're having husband and wife time, snuggle time, as we like to call it, it's
Yeah,
nobody.
Larry calls it cuddle time.
Yeah. But I don't need a camera pointed at my ass. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen.
Yep. Oh gosh.
My husband.
Well, I want to thank you, ladies. I want to thank you, ladies, so much for joining me tonight. I think next week we're going to try and do a topic on kind of what we touched on tonight, trucker safety, or how we can keep ourselves safe out there. So we're going to talk about that. I'm actually trying to get in touch with someone who can maybe come on here and give us some pointers on maybe some self-defense techniques for when we're at the truck stop and rest area. So crossing my fingers, hopefully we'll get that. But next week I'm going to try and do it next Friday. We'll have our live show. So I want to thank you, ladies, for joining us, and we will see you guys all next week.
Well, thank you. It was a good opportunity. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Betty.
Bye,
You're welcome. It was nice, and I enjoyed it. Thank you, Angela, for everything you do.
Thank you guys so much. And if you guys haven't joined us yet, be sure to come to Facebook and join Trucker Safety Divas. We'll have another live show for you guys next Friday. So you ladies be careful out the road, and I will talk to you soon.
Good night.
Bye.
Night.